Hey, welcome to our weekly What's Up for December 7th through the 13th of 2020. If you're new here, I'm Eileen, and we do this every week. So let's look at what's going on this week. So a lot, really, and I know I keep saying a lot, and I feel like I just keep saying it, but it's really true. And if this were a roller coaster, right? If 2020 was a roller coaster, and it was, we are in the climb, right, of that last big giant hill that's got a few loop-de-loops and maybe a corkscrew and a little bit of a backup and maybe one of those big drops into nowhere before the end of the ride, when the hydraulic brakes come on and bring us in for that big stop, right? So we start out, at the end of our week, this week. We roll into the 7th, which is Monday. Mercury will be in Sag, making some aspects to Uranus and Pluto that kind of set the tone for our week, right? So we know that Uranus is about sudden changes, insights, and shifts in awarenesses. It's that tectonic, that seismic level kind of change. And Pluto is about transformation, right? And we know that 2020 has been a year of transformation in a big way. And so with Mercury, right, sitting around so happily, so happily in Sagittarius, right? I mean, Mercury is all about communication, lower level communication, right? Practical communication. So Sagittarius is about how we communicate our association with the abstractions, right? Higher learning, philosophy, things like that. So at the beginning of this week, you might be feeling a little bit talkative, right? You might have some insights, and we've been doing this deep work, right? And so we're getting to that place where we hopefully have whittled away all of the excess. We're getting down to the last few attachments, right? We have been clearing our karma on individual and collective scale, and now we're getting to the last ones. And what do we know about the last ones? Well, the last ones are probably the strongest, right? They're probably the foundational ones. They're probably those ones that you may not have even been aware were there. Those attachment, those coping mechanisms. Right. So the moon is going to square the sun, and that puts a little bit of friction between how you feel and how you are, right? And Venus has a little aspect to Chiron that might make you feel a little bit needy, right? So the key here is to really dig into your intuition and maybe keep your mouth closed. That's kind of a theme of this week, right? Very much so, very much so. Tuesday, the moon goes into Libra. And the moon is trining Pluto, right? So again, our emotions are going to be coming from that seismic layer. They're going to be coming up to remind us of what we have dug up, of what we are here to transform, of how we're here to transmute and alchemize those things that we have been so fearlessly and tenaciously digging up and looking at and processing, right? All of our fearless work is coming into culmination this week and the next. So be in awareness of that. Be in awareness of that. Wednesday, okay, we have the sun squares Neptune, right? So this is a day of self-questioning, right? This is a day of that nebulousness. This is the sun, which is you and your will, and Neptune, which is the fog, the veils, right? The things that we may not necessarily be in our full capability to express. However, sometimes those are the most important things, right? Also, we have Mercury aspecting Jupiter. So this is a day when you want to keep those feels, right? Really in process. Don't let that Jupiter create that tendency to overstretch, overexpand, overpromise, right? Again, we always want to underpromise and overdeliver. Now, the very next day, on Thursday, the Sun trines Mars. I'm so sorry. So again, this is a Sun aspect, right? Sagittarius Sun and Aries Mars. So we're going to go from this day of foggy, kind of dreamy, kind of out there, kind of unsure and tentative, right? With a capacity to feel into perhaps more than we're able to actually offer or actually deliver. So on Thursday, you're going to feel like, heck yeah, I've got this. I can do it, and I can do it faster and better and more and bigger and in all those ways. But here's the deal. This is just one day in this cycle, in this series of energies. So hold on to that feeling on Thursday. But know that Venus, we've got a Scorpio Venus that's squaring our Capricorn Pluto, right? So again, this is about those deep magnetic feelings of love and awareness and beauty really being challenged to be in transformation. And the moon moves into Scorpio on this day as well. So your feelings are going to be all behind that, right? Now, hold on to that, because then on Friday, the sun is going to conjunct the south node. Now, the south node is that place of karmic giftedness, right? We have to work our north node so that we can get the gifts of the south node. And the gifts of a Sagittarius south node are that ability to identify with and as those abstractions, that awareness of yourself as the higher self, that experience of philosophy as who you are, right? So you're really, really, really going to want to feel into those things. So if you do it, but do it low key, right? Because that Sun South Node conjunction is going to be in, it's going to remind you, like to remind you, literally, of the gifts that you have, literally the things that you are packing in your luggage that aren't baggage, right? Those magical ways that you have of being and doing and dealing with your resources and dealing with your awarenesses, right? Especially in relation to those areas of higher learning, those experiential ways that we allow ourselves to learn through and become things that are transcendent. And then while you process that on Saturday, please know that on Sunday we have a Mercury-Neptune square. And so again, this is cool. Wow, so sorry. Mercury-Neptune square, she says, everything comes crashing down. Okay. Well, Mercury-Neptune square, a day to keep quiet. My. So Mercury, of course, we talked about is communication. Oh, hello. Hello, friend. Okay. All right, then. Well, Well, Mercury Neptune square. Mercury is all about simple communication, right? What you say, what you mean to say, how you express it. And Neptune is, again, that nebulous area, that in between, that interstitial section, right, where 1 and 1 makes 3. And so things may be hard to articulate, but easy to feel, right? Hard to articulate, but easy to feel. And so the more you're able to be in your discernment and just move through the experience of feeling your feelings and then allowing yourself to create time to process that, the better off you will be, especially since the Sun and Uranus are also in aspect. And that's going to be considered, the Sun and Uranus, right? A seismic shift of your own personal nature, right? Of your own personal way of being, of your own personal experience in the world. It might be an aha, and it might be a oh wow, I did not know that. So however that shows up, we need to be ready. We need to be in our awareness for all of those things. So this week is a week to be quiet. It is a week to look inward. It is a week to be in your own counsel and in alignment, right? In alignment. We are getting ready for so many big giant things to happen in the next couple of weeks. So in alignment is going to be key, right? So let's look. So on Monday, again, we've got that big Mercury and Uranus and Pluto, right? So the 8 of Cups is about taking that quiet time, right? It's about vision questing. It's about guarding your emotional stability by going off into quiet, into the silence, into the solitude, right? And we've got the 3 of Cups, which is celebration. So again, we're not looking at this as anything bad, as anything like, oh no, I have to be quiet, right? We've also got the moon squaring the sun, right? Okay, they're right there. And this is again about finding your intuition. You can celebrate your intuition. There's nothing sad or dejecting about needing to have a little vision quest time. So set that tone for your week. Celebrate your silence this week, right? Celebrate it. On Tuesday, we have the moon trining Pluto. Okay, so we have justice clarified by the 8 of Wands. And justice is absolutely all about exactly that. It's about balance and harmony. It's about karma. So that moon trining Pluto is asking us to feel into our karma. Where are those karmic boundaries? Where are those karmic ties? What can we release to be ready for what is coming in the next couple of weeks, right? And we need to move on it, right? We don't want to sit around. We don't want to think about it too hard. We want to go inside. We want to witness it. We want to find those things because, like I said, this is roller coaster time. This is tink, tink, tink. We're going up that last hill. And when we crest, we're moving very, very quickly, right? On Wednesday, we've got that Sun square Neptune, right? And the Mercury-Jupiter aspect. So remember, I said nothing. Do not begin anything. It's going to be very, very foggy, and you're going to feel like you're questioning yourself, okay? So 7 of Swords is a card of deception, and that absolutely can be self-deception. And the Tower is suggesting that this is a day for you to discover those places where you've been self-deceptive and literally just blow them up. This is the way the work works, is that we find those places and then we just blow them up and see what happens, see what things come out. And the bottom line is, when you deal with all those pieces being in motion, then you get the privilege of rebuilding your foundations and your self-structures in the fashion and form that you want them to be, that you choose for them to be. And the best part is, you know, the Tower is my favorite card. Why? Because it represents that ability to vision and revision, and it represents the detachment, right? We only mourn what we're attached to. And sometimes we don't even really believe in that, right? The Two of Swords is about decisions and standing still and being impartial. The Five of Swords is about active, you know, struggle. And so if we're taking the active struggle out of it, then what we're left with is a decision, right? Here is all decisions. It's the decision about how you're going to rebuild. Foggy, let it be. Just witness. Be in witness, right? Be in witness to where you are, those Five of Swords, and where your choices really, really lie. On Thursday, again, we've got the Sun trining Mars, right? Personal power, of course. King of Pentacles, hello. And then Venus squaring Pluto. Venus squaring Pluto. What have we dug up? What does it look like? We are waiting. We're waiting, right? King of Pentacles is all about knowing what you have planted, right? We know it's coming up. We just have to be patient for it now. That Sun is trining Mars. We know we're in our personal power. We don't need anything else, right? I'm in my abundance. I'm in my power. I'm grounded. I'm rooted. I'm solid. After this, I'm solid. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and be patient to see what comes next. Here is the Sun conjunct South Node day. Okay, so remember I said we're going to be reminded of our purpose, right? So the devil is all about attachment. The devil is all about Capricorn energy. It's about being rooted and grounded to things that no longer may hold our highest good in action, right? So these are the places we anchor to. And the Five of Wands is that card of posturing, right? Nobody's actually in battle. It's just about standing there looking menacing. So this is about really asking yourself on this day, am I really, really being mindful of what's to come? Or am I being mindful of what has been? Am I stuck in the present because I'm anchored to the past? Or am I rooted in the present because I'm looking to grow my future, right? Because I know what's coming. Because I know better times are on the way. Because I understand that I am abundance. And in my patience, I get all the things that I require. Or am I just sitting here stuck? Chained, right? Am I just standing there defending it because it's been the way it's been? Great question. So Saturday, look at that, beautiful. So whatever revelations you have on Friday, I highly recommend you note them in some way, write them down. Journal them, chronicle them, get your voice recorder out and record them for yourself in whatever way it is, or ask a friend to witness it for you. Write it down, because on Saturday we have the Ten of Wands, which is a card of release, right? This is, I am so overburdened, I can't carry anything else. I have to put these burdens down. Six of Wands is victory. Yep, I win. I did it. After the Five of Wands comes the Six of Wands, right? This is that ridiculous battle in name only, right? Nobody really wins. We just stand around and look like we're fighting. Well, this is, I've given it up. I've put it down. I've let it go. And in releasing these attachments, I am victorious. Amen, right? And then on Sunday, Mercury square Neptune. Remember how I said, keep quiet. You're going to feel a little wrung out, especially after all this internal work that's going to happen this week, the work that's going to happen inside your head and your heart and your soul. Let that work happen. And then on Sunday, when we've got that Mercury-Neptune square and you feel super foggy, let it process. Let it process. Remember, seismic shifts of a personal nature, okay? So this is strength. This is inner strength, right? This is defeating your own ego, right? And literally, this is about your soul here, understanding that this 3D lion has been tamed. And the Page of Wands is about inspiration and passion. And guess what? Those come from inside you. So while the Page of Wands is definitely a messenger, that is not something that has to be a message from outside. This is an internal work week, internal work. This is all about what's happening in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, in your emotional body. This is a week to make decisions about how you move toward the future, right? We've been dealing with our what comes next for so long, individually and collectively, that we're at the place where we have to make these decisions now. And the real decisions that you're making are your own. So the oracle we get, it's why. Look at that. It's a sweet little angel book. Why? Tell me why. 31. Motives driving intention. The power of knowing the why. There is great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most importantly, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. I mean, y'all, if the universe don't want you to get it, I'm just telling you. So yeah, this is about really discovering your why and being in alignment with it and knowing what you're doing, right? Knowing what you need to release, where it's coming from, what's in your own alignment, what you're ready to let go of, what you're ready to plant and tend, what you're ready to put down, what you're ready to pick up, and how you're going to do it. Ah, well, my darlings, that's my most exciting, right? So in the Bliss Becomes You deck, this is the bonus Joker wild card, right? It's the Bliss card. So again, in that we know that bliss is an internal state, right? Bliss is your attachment to your experience of the nebulous, your experience of yourself as the divine, right? It is that third space. It is that 1 and 1 make 3. That's where bliss lives. And if you do all these works, right, you know your why, you figure out what you're pulling in, you figure out what you're willing to release, where you've bullshitted yourself, and what you actually have, what you've attached to, what you're willing to let go of so that you can be victorious, and where your inner strength comes from, where you are your own experience of passion and inspiration, that, yes, is where bliss becomes you. That's where bliss becomes you. Please understand that next week we have, on the 14th, a solar eclipse and new moon at 23 Sag. On the 15th, Chiron goes direct. On the 16th, Saturn goes into Aquarius. On the 19th, Jupiter goes into Aquarius. On the 20th, Mercury goes into Capricorn. And on the 21st, we have solstice, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction at 0 degrees Aquarius, and the sun goes into Capricorn. Next week is monumental, right? Every week is monumental, right? Every week, because every week we get to do the choice to do the work. So I urge you, turn inward, right? That's where awakening is. It's not out there, guys. It's not. And to all of you who have reached out and said, why am I so cranky? Why am I so feeling psychotic? Why am I feeling like I want to bite everyone's head off? This is why. This is why, right? This is why. It's where you're attached. This is why. It's where you're engaging in bullshit. I'm so sorry. It's where you're engaging in bullshit. And once you put all the bullshit down, look what happens. Look what happens when you put all the bullshit behind you, guys. I mean, just do it. For real. Right there. Big blessings. We'll talk several times this week, so take it easy. Big blessings. Love you guys.